Hey, Roger Federer, just want to congratulate you. Roland Garros is over. I actually don't have access at this time to real solid internet where I am, in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, and I had to listen to the match by radio, and it was really a good match. So on to Wimbledon we go, and I guess I had actually recorded another video before, which I really had said a lot, and then just with the accidental swipe across the mouse pad, completely lost the video. So here I am again making a new video. So I'll just try to go off memory what I was doing before. So anyway, I saw actually that you said something along the lines of "Je suis contente quand même" or something like that. And I think if my French isn't so rusty, that was you were saying that you were happy in spite of it all, or all the same you were happy. I don't know if I translated that properly, but really. All the same you were happy. It just seems well, maybe you just said that just to keep a positive attitude, and so that's really good. But you know I think that actually this tournament brought up some questions as well that I'm wondering about, that I sort of raised the other day a little bit, but I'm just wondering, I feel like now you guys, you have a coach, and it seems like you've been improving and doing really well, and see, you're still making finals, you're still competing at a very high level, and yet you have the media writing you off, and they're not recognizing the fact that you're making finals, that you're actually beating people, beating people, and getting into the finals. As they're still kind of trying to write you off. So I heard you did that. Number one thing, good for you. Keep it up. But I'm just wondering, as far as some things that you said in the past about not checking your unforced errors, like I think within the last 6 or 8 months ago, you said, "Oh, I don't, unforced errors. That's not really a big thing for me. I really don't get into unforced errors." And I just think in as far as improvement, and just keeping everything tight, just giving yourself the courtesy to make things easier on yourself, to get just have every section of your game tight, as tight as it can be. Is that I just wonder, like, now that you have a coach, I mean, is there someone in your camp who's looking at unforced errors, looking for patterns with unforced errors? I don't even know if you had actually a lot of unforced errors in this particular match because of the lack of internet here. So, but in general, I was just wondering, now that you've had a coach for some time, is that is he looking at that? Is he looking at matches that you've lost to see what, even easy things that you could have either added or cut out, that things that are easy for you that would have caused you to gain a point, and that could make all of the difference between a 6-5 in the second set lead or whatever, and a tie break, and the tide shifting over to Nadal. I'm not saying that those are the right scores at the time, but I think it was in the second set and the third set where it was very close, and it could go either way for either one of you guys. I just want to just point out that the small things as well, and I'm sure you already know this, but just the small things, studying unforced errors, just having, those as we say, I's dotted and T's crossed, just the small things done that will give yourself the courtesy of when it gets down to the wire like that, where a set could go either to you or to Nadal, that it goes to you because you have all the small things down. And obviously you have a lot of small things down. Obviously you're a champion, all that, but I just wonder, it's always good to return to that. And that's I'm not even a fan of Kobe Bryant, but one thing he said, I don't hate Kobe Bryant either, but I'm just not particularly a fan of his. But one thing he did say is, you can't expect to keep winning by doing the same things, and I'm sure you already know that. It's interesting. They're the people in this world who stay ahead of the time, stay on top of things, keep just winning, 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 whether it's in sports or even in music, even people like Madonna, they just stay at the forefront of their industry, because they're transforming and changing, and they're looking at where they can adapt and just do the small things, even just that allow them to stay true to themselves, but also just allow them to actually have the courtesy of staying at the top, winning, just harnessing new trends with people and new trends against competition. And that's the thing too, that I've mentioned in my other videos, and that you are the most studied player, and Nadal is probably the most studied as well. And you know as far as when you were number one, as I mentioned, for many years, you held an unbelievable dominance. And there's times, as much as I love Rafa, and it is hard, I think, for any human being really in this world to dislike Rafael Nadal. Really, I mean, he's a great personality, and I absolutely adore the friendship that you guys have, the camaraderie that you have, the mutual respect that you have for each other. But anyway, Rafa has not held the dominance that you've held while being at number one. Even though he's number one in the world, there are times that I've seen Rafa get completely deconstructed by players. I think, was it the U.S. Open in 2009? I'm not sure, but it was Del Potro. I mean, he just, for me, completely deconstructed Rafa. It was just I don't know. He was like Rafa Kryptonite or something. I don't know. And for me, Del Potro's talented. I haven't seen him play in a while. Del Potro's talented, but he is actually he has more power than talent, if you ask me. He's got just enough talent to carry him over, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him or anything like that, but he is talented. I'm not taking it away, but it's just more of substantial talent rather than absolute top talent. It's substantial talent with a great amount of power that allows him to get over. For me, I feel like if you, Roger Federer, were the same build with the same long arms and the same exact power, I think you would annihilate Del Potro, which many times you've beaten him. But in any case, so just getting back to Nadal, he hasn't held the dominance. He's lost matches to other people, whereas at number one you really dominated. Of course, you had losses to Nadal as well, but I don't feel like anyone has held the dominance you have. So now I'm just wondering, as far as having a coach, you know, things that you weren't willing to do in the past when you were handling your own. You were just out there on your own. Is there a coaching team who is doing that? Because Rafa, and even Djokovic, they have team of people. They have a team of people helping them. I guess probably looking up stats. And Rafa with Uncle Tony and the whole crew. He's got a whole support system. You've been virtually doing everything alone, as far as I know. And now I feel like you have a coach, and I'm just wondering, what is happening there, because when you didn't have a coach, you were still coming up with the same results. Like today, you made it to the finals, which is excellent. You're in your late 20s. Media's always trying to put you down. Oh, Roger Federer this, Roger Federer that. But you're still making finals, making semifinals. You're still beating players pulling off amazing wins, playing amazing tennis. Everyone, on Twitter and Facebook were saying that you were pulling off an amazing win. I'm sorry, that you and Nadal were actually playing amazing, entertaining tennis as usual. But what I'm wondering is, it feels like when you didn't have a coach, that you were having the same results. Like, okay, you didn't have a coach, you got to the finals, you played against Nadal, and then Nadal won in the last couple of Grand Slams. Obviously, you have beaten Nadal in other areas, which is great. ATP World Tour, the end of last year was awesome ending to this season. That was awesome, by the way. But I'm just wondering, with the coach, I want to issue you guys a challenge, and just saying, like, what is it that you can do differently going into Wimbledon, both Paul as a coach, what new strategies can he maybe pick up, and what would you be willing to do, Roger Federer? What are you willing to do to win? And if you're not willing to take different changes, then I'm cool. You know, that is what it is, because in the end it's really all about you. We're just here enjoying your experience. So but I'm just saying, I just want to issue a challenge to you, a friendly, a good healthy challenge to you and to Paul. Just figuring out what you can do to give yourself the courtesy to have the I's dotted and the T's crossed when you are at a tiebreaker, or you are at a point where the set could go either to you or to the opponent, all the little things are taken care of, and for me it means that it's looking at unforced errors maybe, and just seeing, well, errors are errors sometimes, but if just seeing if there are any trends in any unforced errors, and I feel like that comes on the coach's behalf, and just looking at different strategies and different things, because like I said, you actually, I said in the other video that got lost, you actually have improved. I do trust your judgment. I'm sure that Paul Annacone is a fantastic coach, and obviously he's doing well, and I just really trust. I think fans trust Roger Federer's judgment in that. So I really champion Paul, but I just issue you all the challenge. Like, what are you going to do to bring forth some new results for the story that you want to write? And we know, back in Australian Open, when you walked off that semifinals court against a winning Djokovic, that your face looked like, holy shit, how the hell did that happen? That was not supposed to happen. And yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen. And yeah, we were looking forward to you getting number 17 today, which I truly believe you could have gotten. But we're not going to woulda, shoulda, coulda here. We're just looking forward, trying to keep the positive Federer attitude that I always see on Facebook. Just looking forward to going to Wimbledon. And I look forward to seeing you at championship point, Roger. I, as a fan, we're always here supporting you, and I want to send major love to Mirka. As a matter of fact, let me just take a moment to talk about Mirka, because there are times, I don't even know you personally, Roger Federer. There are times when things have gotten so intense, we don't know if you're going to win the set or go out, or win or lose, or win the match or lose, and it gets so intense that a couple of times I have actually had to just turn the TV off just for a minute or two. I can't keep the TV off long, but I have to turn the TV off for a minute or two. I always have to give kudos to Mirka for sitting through such intensity. That's a strong woman right there. So when you get a chance, get her something nice. But she supports you so much, and I think we as fans, seeing that you have a wonderful support system from your family as well, knowing that that's like one less stress for you as a tennis player, is a great thing. So we're really excited about that, and glad that you have that support system. So I just want to give kudos to her. But my challenge to you is, what can you do new? How are you going to step out of your comfort zone and just, really move into something where you can really beat Nadal? Because the talent is there. It's not